Hello and welcome to Soul GPS. My name is Eva, and I know I've been kind of MIA for quite a long time, and now I'm back with a new series of videos which I hope you will enjoy and they will be helpful to you. And first, what I wanted to say is I have a couple of logistical announcements. The first announcement is I really apologize if you have written to me on Messenger, my Soul GPS Messenger or Instagram, and I have not responded. I have not had access to the Messenger since last summer because my Facebook was hacked and I wouldn't come near it. So I have a whole lot of backlogged messages, and if you were one of the people who had written to me, I really apologize. And best way to contact me is through my email, and that is down underneath this video. If you would like to do coaching with me, you can either send me an email and I'll send you the links, or you can check out my website and all the information is on it. Again, all that information is down below this video. And the second announcement, which may not be super relevant to you if you're an English speaker, is that I'm going to be splitting my Polish channel into a new channel because the Polish and the English videos are just sort of mixing together, and I get a lot of questions from my English-speaking people who are not able to find my videos in English, and they're getting the ones in Polish instead, and it's just gotten a little bit chaotic. So if you are interested in continuing to receive my videos, please subscribe to this channel. This one is going to be to continue to be in English, while my Polish videos will start to branch off into a different channel. And if you are interested in it, and then the link will be down below. It's just basically Soul GPS PL, and because who knows, maybe you want to learn Polish language and you are using these videos to do so. So that is that. Now, what I want to get into now is to get to the meat of this video and talk about a question I received from one of my Polish viewers, which I thought was a really good question. And it just, rather than writing her back, I decided to record a video, and I asked her about it, and she said yes, you can use this question to record a video. So this is the question she asked, and it deals with how to handle love bombing text from my ex-narcissist who's trying to hoover me back. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. And again, she's female, I'm a female, so I will have a tendency to talk about women more as the targets of abuse and men as the abusers, but that completely does not reflect the reality of the fact that there's I've been hearing about 50-50 when it comes to how the demographics split. So lots of female narcissists roaming around as well, hurting a lot of men. So I just want to be really sensitive to this topic, as well as people who are homosexual. People of the same gender, they experience it too. So this is not just about women being the victims and men being the predators and perpetrators. This touches everyone across the board. All right, so here's the question. She says, what do I say? How do I reply when he says things to me like, I love you. You are the woman of my life. I want to grow old with you, and I cannot ever imagine being with anyone else. What can I do to make him finally leave me alone? I know that I could just ignore it, but we remain connected through an apartment lease. What answers can I get the narcissist to come down to earth? What works on these people? How do I deal with these provocations? So just to be clear, they no longer live together, but they are together on the paperwork. So there are just some financial details. She can't just cut it completely. So first, let's talk about hoovering for a moment. Why is it so addicting? Why do we keep waiting for those texts? Why do we keep waiting for them to contact us? And I've been thinking about it yesterday, and I came to 3 conclusions, 3 ideas, and they each start with a V. So the first one is we get validation. It's like, it means that they care. So we feel a little bit better. The pain is alleviated a little bit. We get that dopamine hit. Second one is victory. So it's almost like you're getting a bit of a point score, right? Okay, so he wrote. So now I'm sort of, I'm the victor for a moment. It usually doesn't last very long because the pain comes right back. But for a moment, we can feel like we got the upper hand. And the third one is vengeance. It's like you're now in a position to tell them off. You can shut them down. You can say something that's going to hurt them. So it does put you in that position of power. Of course, all of these are superficial. They're pretty false. They're fleeting, and they set stage for frankly a dangerous game that could ensue if you get addicted. That's addicting if you get into the exchange deeper. So here's my advice: become aware of what it is that you're getting, what it is that you're feeling when you're getting hoovered, when you're getting those text messages. Just watch yourself. And now enjoy that hit, enjoy that dopamine, but also watch it go, let it go, close the lid, take a breath, and just let it pass. Don't get back into it, because again, it's really easy and it's frankly dangerous. So let's talk about handling text specifically. So here's the thing. I am more of the advocate to, if you can, and if it's possible, if it's feasible, leave the relationship. I'm not so much an advocate of staying and continuing, although I 100% understand and agree that there are times where it's just impossible. You know, some people can be very much entangled, whether it's children or our finances. These are usually the main reasons, but there may be other reasons. Can be illness, can be anything, you know. So I completely understand that, and I work with people also who are in that place. But in general, the reason why I say it right now is that my first advice is usually just block them, right? Just block them so you can have a peace of mind, so you will not be bothered. But again, I understand it's not always easy. It could be because of kids, it could be because of finances, it could be that this person owes you something. It could be emotional. It could be that you are actually feeling plagued by things like guilt, things like fear, or anything else that prevents you from making that final cut at this time. So I understand that as well. Sometimes we need a little bit of time to get to that place where we hit that button, that red block button, and we can then move on to the next stage. So in that case, when overwhelmed, so if that's the case, if it's open, if the communication channels are open and you're getting overwhelmed by these love bombing texts, you may want to respond at some point. But I don't want you to feel compelled or forced or shooted to do this with every single text that you receive, or when you finally get yourself to the place where you decide to answer it, that you answer every single one of them, right? I would not recommend that, because that too will communicate that, now they're going to send you more, and now they see that you respond to everything, and they will take advantage of that. So instead, I would say, when you respond, give yourself time, wait, think about it, feel your emotions, and then be very precise, be very clear and short in your request not to receive any further messages of this nature. And so what I would encourage you to do is state your request in a neutral, emotionally neutral, but assertive manner. Say something like, for example, I would prefer that you stop texting me and only contact me when it pertains to X, Y, or Z. Being very precise. Or your texts make me feel uncomfortable. Please stop. And this is my final request. And if they continue doing that, then you can take a different route. But you may feel like you want to communicate that because you feel better inside that, yeah, I did that. I tried to set that boundary. Whether it works or not, that's a different story. Or you can tell them that you've decided to block them, and here on the text, and instead you would like to move to email, which is, they usually don't like that, because email is like, it's a little bit more work, it's a little bit more formal, but it can work in terms of diminishing the frequency And it's a better way in general to communicate about things like visitations with children or other things of more of a official or more of like an official nature. So one more note, one more thing on that is that in general, when it comes to handling topics that pertain to children and finances, it is best to communicate via the written word rather than making phone calls, because they can be tracked and, for example, used in court if needed, or when you're filing some kind of report. Email proves to be the best, although you can also be able to catch things like reactive texts and volatility on text messages, which you can also then use to illustrate your point. On a phone call, we can't catch that unless you record the call, but that's legally kind of in a gray zone. As far as I can remember, it's not really legal. At least it wasn't legal in California at the time when I was researching this to record somebody. So you'd need to just check if that's something you could use. But in general, I would avoid phone calls because, again, it can be so emotional. Hearing the voice, hearing the tone, it can get you really riled up. So stick to the messages if you can. And so if the firm pushback does not work, what you can do is you can ignore the messages. Just let them hang for a few days. Whether they show as read or unread, that's up to you. That too will communicate something. Everything communicates something. But feel free, give yourself the permission, or if you need one, I give you the permission to not respond for a few days. You don't have to. You're free to do as you deem right. And only respond if you feel like it's the right time and you have something really concrete to communicate. Don't be vague. That they will pick up on this. They're always going to look for a little slot to get inside of, and they will try to suck you right back in. So if you do have to answer, be short, be brief, be to the point, be succinct. Don't get engaged in the word salad. That is very easy. Also, it's very easy to get emotional, and also it's very easy to get lost in the larger story, the bigger narrative, because, again, they know how to push your buttons, they know what will make you react, so avoid doing that. Now, if these options still don't work, and you're continuing to get these texts, you're continuing to see them say, I missed you so much, but you don't understand. I just want to be with you, and blah 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 blah. You can try taking a 180-degree turn, and actually begin to prod and question the narcissist with very specific and detailed questions. I mean, like an avalanche of questions that will be so overwhelming, they may get discouraged from ever wanting to contact you again. And I'm talking from experience. I'll give you a story in a moment. So as we know, narcissists, they like convenience, they like ease. They like getting what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. They want to get things their way. So if you put an obstacle between you and the person, then it may be just enough to make them want to turn the other way, because it's too hard, it's too much, it's not worth it anymore. So for example, if the narcissist says to you that you're the love of their life, ask them, well, why? Tell me specifically, what does that mean? And how about when this and this happened? Was I the love of your life then? Just send them a lot of questions and put them on the defensive. If they say that they want to be with you and only with you, you can ask them, you've broken my trust when you did X, Y, or Z. How are you going to repair it? What exactly are you going to do? Because your words are just not working. I'm going to need actions. What kind of actions are you specifically willing to do? And they may try to lure you into the trap of telling you things like, well, you have to get back with me so I can prove to you, right? Prove to you what it's going to be like. Don't fall for that bait. Instead, keep asking questions. Keep asking very specific questions so that you can see from their behavior of how they're answering, how they're communicating with you, how it is exactly they're going to treat you should you get back together with them, which I don't recommend. But just watch the actions. Don't so much what it is that they say. And I'm going to be honest here. You're gonna need to have a certain amount of knowledge and immunity to follow this route, because again, you're opening a bit of a big door, a Pandora's box, you may say, and you may be putting yourself in a vulnerable position. So again, this is just a suggestion. It may invite danger, but it may also work. So make them think, make them work extra hard. Ask them specifically what it is that they're willing to do for you. And again, specificity and clarity are a good antidote for communication with narcissists, because they thrive in vagueness and ambiguity. They love double, triple, quadruple entendres. They like when things are dark and murky and where you are assuming things, right? And especially they don't have to take responsibility for what they said, because they never said it. You imagined it. You misinterpreted it, right? So by seeking clarity, you might just be blowing their cover and exposing things that they'd rather keep hidden and secret. If the answer that they give you is still vague, you can ask for even more clarification. Your best word in this case is why. Tell me why. Answer why. You can just keep prodding and prodding and prodding until they'll either shut up or they will they may get angry. So I'm not gonna hide that this may provoke them. So again, be very discerning here as to what it is that you do. So just a personal story, and one of my clients that I work with, she had this problem. She was with someone, and they had two fallouts, two betrayals, you could say, two rejections. Of course, she was on the rejecting end. He was the one who was moving on, and then he would come back. So first time he came back, she said, okay, I'll give another chance. Now the second time it happened, she said she's done, and that's when he began to go to therapy, and he said he's learning, he wants her back, he's going to do anything, and he would like her to join therapy and for them to do it together, which of course she was smart enough to know and experienced enough to know that this is like inviting trouble, but at the same time she wasn't yet 100% convinced that 100%, she didn't have that conviction that to say no. She was still a little bit, on the verge. So that's when she decided to work with me, and that was the advice I gave her, because he kept writing to her, he kept asking her, he kept asking why, he kept prodding and questioning. So then I said, well, why don't you turn that around and start prodding and questioning him? So she ended up writing him a list of it started with about 5 questions, and it ended up being 50. She sent it to him, and of course she never received an answer, and the relationship just dissipated. So again, this could be something that will work for you. Now use your own discernment, use your intuition. Every situation will be different, but this is yet another way to potentially make the person to leave you alone. You're making it harder for them to get you back, and that could be enough to discourage them from wanting to do it. On the final note, I want to say, if there is escalation, if there are threats, if you are feeling like you're in danger by this person, feel free to use the system, file a report with the police, get a restraining order, or whatever it is that you can do in order to legally stop them from getting into your life. So again, we're talking about putting more obstacles. And I know that our system isn't perfect. I know that our police doesn't work the best, especially in court systems too, especially when it comes to dealing with these characters. But I've known of instances when it was really helpful, and they did help the person who was being psychologically and this could have turned into physical abuse as well, and the person finally left them alone. So this could work. So do this. Use the system. Sometimes if you just fill out a report, if you're at the police, if there's like just a little bit of what's it called, like a signature or a stamp or something that you have filed something, take a photo of that so the police is visible. You can send that message to the narcissist and let them know that you just did that, and that may be enough, again, to discourage them from wanting to contact you again. But know that you're maybe putting that final cut and if you can, and if it makes sense, and if you're ready, then I will cheer you on and be there right behind you, so that you can be free and you can heal and you can live the life of your dreams. So to end, just want to say and acknowledge you that being in a narcissistic relationship is a brainwashing experience. It does a number on us psychologically. The gaslighting can literally make you feel like you're going crazy, and all of this insanity of it. It's quite a common, normal thing to do. No, you're not going crazy. You just feel like you are, because your reality is being questioned. But don't lose faith, and know that discovering that this is what you've been through and being able to name it is maybe one of the greatest opportunities you have to gain clarity, to gain unity internally, to end cognitive dissonance, and to arrive at a place where you can finally have some peace. So my advice to you is become your self-advocate, trust your feelings. In general, it's better safe than sorry, but do trust your feelings, listen to them, listen to what they have to communicate to you, and feel them. Respect your own needs and your boundaries, because if you don't do it, no one else will do it, because boundaries start with you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to your comments. Bye-bye.